Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you paused, took a deep breath, and genuinely thought about yourself, not in a selfish way, but in a meaningful, intentional way? Focusing on yourself is not an act of selfishness. It's an act of responsibility. When you take the time to nurture your own growth, you create a ripple effect that touches everything and everyone around you. Let's unpack what happens when you choose to focus on yourself. Focusing on yourself begins with self-awareness, the cornerstone of personal growth. It's the conscious effort to understand who you are at your core, your values, aspirations, strengths, and even the fears and doubts that hold you back. Often we navigate life on autopilot, reacting to situations without taking the time to examine why we act the way we do. This lack of introspection can leave us feeling disconnected from ourselves and unsure of what truly drives us. When you take the time to cultivate self-awareness, it's like stepping into a well-lit room after being in the dark. Suddenly, the things you couldn't see clearly, your motivations, desires, and patterns become visible. This clarity helps you align your actions with your true self, giving you a stronger sense of self-direction. Self-awareness isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's the ability to acknowledge where you are and take responsibility for moving forward. One of the most profound benefits of self-awareness is the ability to identify your values. These values act as a personal compass, guiding your decisions and helping you prioritize what truly matters. Without understanding your values, you risk being swayed by external influences, chasing goals that don't align with who you are. When you know your values, you make choices with greater confidence because they're rooted in authenticity. Understanding yourself also means recognizing your triggers and emotional responses. Self-awareness allows you to pause and reflect rather than reacting impulsively. For example, when faced with criticism, a self-aware person can step back and ask, "Why does this bother me?" instead of responding defensively. This reflection creates space for growth and enables you to navigate challenges with grace. It's not just about introspection, though. Self-awareness also requires a willingness to seek feedback from others. Sometimes we're too close to our own experiences to see the full picture. By inviting trusted friends, mentors, or colleagues to share their perspectives, you gain insights that might otherwise elude you. However, the key is to filter this feedback through your self-awareness, accepting what resonates with your values and leaving the rest behind. The journey to self-awareness isn't always comfortable. It requires honesty, vulnerability, and the courage to face aspects of yourself you might prefer to ignore. But this discomfort is a small price to pay for the profound sense of freedom and empowerment that comes from truly knowing yourself. When you focus on developing self-awareness, you unlock the first step toward becoming the person you're meant to be, setting the stage for deeper growth and fulfillment in every area of your life. When you focus on yourself, the significance of small, intentional actions becomes evident. It's easy to believe that big changes require grand gestures or monumental shifts, but true transformation happens in the small, consistent steps you take each day. These actions, while seemingly insignificant in the moment, compound over time to create a foundation for growth and success. Every time you choose to do something meaningful for yourself, whether it's waking up a little earlier to plan your day, dedicating a few minutes to a new skill, or taking a short walk to clear your short mind, you're building confidence. Confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you cultivate through action. Each small decision reinforces a belief in your ability to show up for yourself, even when it's hard or inconvenient. When you keep promises to yourself, no matter how small, you strengthen your self-trust. This trust is vital because it serves as a reminder that you're capable of following through. For example, committing to read one chapter of a book each day may seem minor, but over a year it could mean completing dozens of books and gaining new insights that fuel your growth. These small wins act as proof that progress is happening, even if it's not immediately visible. It's important to remember that small actions don't require perfection. You might miss a day or fall short of your expectations, and that's okay. What matters is your willingness to get back on track. The beauty of focusing on small actions is that they're forgiving. If you stumble, you can pick up where you left off without feeling overwhelmed by the magnitude of the task. Small actions also create momentum. The act of doing something, no matter how minor, propels you forward. For instance, if you're feeling stuck, simply organizing your workspace or jotting down your thoughts can break the inertia. These actions might not solve every problem, but they signal to yourself that you're moving, and movement leads to progress. Furthermore, these small, consistent efforts have a way of reshaping your identity. When you prioritize even the tiniest habits, you begin to see yourself differently. You're no longer someone who's trying to get organized, you're someone who values order. You're not just learning to be healthier, you're someone who takes care of their well-being. This shift in identity reinforces your commitment and makes it easier to sustain your efforts. Ultimately, focusing on small actions is about honoring your journey and understanding that significant change doesn't happen overnight. It's the accumulation of these daily choices that builds a life aligned with your goals and aspirations, proving that every small step matters. Resilience is one of the most powerful traits you can cultivate when you focus on yourself. Life is unpredictable and full of challenges, but your ability to adapt, endure, and grow depends not on what happens to you, but on the strength you've built within. Resilience doesn't appear overnight. It's the product of consistent effort, self-reflection, and intentional self-care. Focusing on yourself helps you develop resilience because it allows you to understand your own capacity for handling difficulties. When you prioritize your growth, you begin to notice how much stronger you are than you give yourself credit for. Every time you face a setback, you have the opportunity to reflect on what happened and how you responded. This reflection gives you the tools to navigate similar challenges in the future with greater confidence. Resilience is also deeply tied to how you view adversity. When you focus on yourself, you shift your mindset from seeing obstacles as roadblocks to viewing them as opportunities for growth. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you start asking, "What can I learn from this?" This subtle change in perspective can transform the way you approach challenges, turning moments of struggle into stepping stones for personal development. Part of building resilience is learning to manage your emotions effectively. When you focus on yourself, you become more in tune with how you feel and why. This self-awareness allows you to process emotions in a healthy way rather than letting them overwhelm you. For example, when faced with disappointment, instead of suppressing your feelings or lashing out, you might choose to journal, meditate, or talk it out with someone you trust. These practices not only help you cope, but also strengthen your ability to bounce back. Another key aspect of resilience is self-reliance. Focusing on yourself teaches you to trust your own judgment and capabilities. It doesn't mean you won't seek support from others, but it does mean you won't be entirely dependent on external validation or assistance to move forward. This inner strength becomes a safety net during difficult times, reminding you that you have the resources within to persevere. Resilience also grows when you celebrate your progress. Each time you overcome a challenge, no matter how small, take a moment to acknowledge it. These victories, however minor they may seem, are proof that you're capable of handling more than you thought. They create a sense of pride and motivation that fuels your journey forward. Ultimately, resilience isn't about avoiding challenges, it's about equipping yourself to face them with courage and determination. When you focus on yourself, you cultivate the strength, adaptability, and perspective needed to not only endure life's difficulties, but to thrive in the face of them. Focusing on yourself is not an isolated act. It's a powerful form of self-leadership that extends its impact far beyond your own life. When you prioritize your personal growth and well-being, you begin to make better decisions, face challenges with more clarity, and ultimately live with more purpose. This inner strength and clarity create a ripple effect that reaches those around you, inspiring them to reflect on their own lives and perhaps even make changes for the better. By leading yourself well, you become an example of what's possible when someone takes control of their own growth and development. Self-leadership is about taking responsibility for your life. It's about deciding that your future is in your hands and that the direction you take is determined by the choices you make every single day. When you focus on yourself, you set an example of accountability. You stop blaming external circumstances for your struggles and instead take ownership of the steps necessary to move forward. This level of accountability is not just empowering for you, it also serves as a silent invitation for others to step up and take charge of their own lives. People are often inspired by seeing someone confidently navigate their own journey, knowing that if you can take charge of your life, so can they. The act of focusing on yourself encourages a sense of self-sufficiency. While it's important to lean on others for support when necessary, when you make yourself a priority, you also build the internal resources needed to navigate life independently. This resilience helps you weather storms and face setbacks with a greater sense of control and calm. When others see you bouncing back from hardship with grace, they realize that they too have the ability to navigate challenges in their own lives. Furthermore, focusing on your personal growth cultivates emotional intelligence, which enhances your relationships with others. When you know yourself deeply, you are better equipped to relate to others, to show empathy, and to communicate more effectively. Your own growth allows you to meet others where they are, offering support and encouragement that comes from a place of understanding and authenticity. This creates a positive, uplifting environment that fosters growth in those around you as well. When you focus on yourself, you also become a role model for living authentically. By aligning your actions with your values and staying true to who you are, you show others that it's okay to do the same. You teach the importance of being yourself, not conforming to external pressures or the expectations of others. This authenticity empowers others to embrace their own uniqueness and pursue their own path, knowing that true success comes from staying aligned with their own inner truth. In conclusion, focusing on yourself is one of the most powerful and transformative decisions you can make, not only for your own growth, but for the impact it can have on the world around you. By cultivating self-awareness, taking small actions that build confidence, developing resilience, and leading by example, you set the stage for a life of purpose and fulfillment. When you focus on your own growth, you create a ripple effect that inspires others to do the same. You become a beacon of possibility, showing those around you that they too have the power to change, grow, and lead with authenticity. The journey of focusing on yourself isn't always easy, but it is incredibly rewarding. It requires patience, consistency, and the courage to embrace yourself, flaws and all. However, the rewards inner strength, clarity, confidence, and the ability to inspire and lead are well worth the effort. Remember, the most profound way you can contribute to the world is by first taking care of your own well-being and growth. When you lead yourself, you unlock the potential to lead others. So take that first step today, no matter how small, and commit to focusing on yourself. The world needs more people who are willing to invest in their own growth, for it is through our personal transformation that we create a better, more meaningful future for all. So today I leave you with this. Focusing on yourself isn't about turning your back on the world, it's about equipping yourself to show up for it. It's about becoming the best version of you so you can contribute to the best version of us. Start small. Start today. And remember, when you focus on yourself, you create a better future for everyone around you. Thank you.